What's up guys, and welcome back to brand new Hijomeatman news video. Today's video isn't really going to be any news, well, not this video anyway. It's going to be a little bit more of a rant, you know, because I'm a little bit triggered. I'm a little bit angered after watching the Moto 2 race. Obviously you guys, if you followed the channel for a while, you would have known that I'm a pretty big fan of Jorge Martin, and you know, he just led the entire race, and I was all kind of excited that he was about to win. And they went and took the bloody win away. I mean, understandable that, you know, obviously riders do have to, you know, they do have to stay on the track limits. Obviously, that's what the white line's are there for. That's what the track's there for. You know, you gotta stay within those lines at all time, pretty much. You know, you can't just be going off onto green stuff, running off, full throttle, gaining advantages left, right, and centre, like we see, you know, many times in the Grand Prix, especially in this Austrian weekend. We have seen these track limit penalties be a little bit more savage, I guess you could say, a little bit more serious. They're taking it a lot more serious than what we've usually seen in previous seasons. At least that's how I feel. But, you know, Austria, you know, throughout this weekend and obviously last weekend, we have seen plenty of penalties and positions changing around left, right, and centre, which is understandable because a lot of them have actually gained an advantage or even done it on the final corner, where obviously it's understandable on the last lap. If someone does go off the track onto the last corner, then it is kind of understandable, you know, to get a penalty, because obviously, you know, you're gaining an advantage on the final lap, so that is understandable. But in terms of Jorge Martin, obviously, if you watched the race where he dipped onto the green, which was the most just tiniest of amounts anyway, he gained absolutely no advantage whatsoever and had the race win took away from him, which must have, you know, caused a lot of anger for him and the team. Obviously, absolutely dominating that race from start to finish. Really, he only made like one or two mistakes throughout the Grand Prix. You know, he ran wide a little bit on one corner, I think, and then obviously touching that green was also another mistake, I guess you could say. But other than that, the rest of the race was completely flawless. Absolute dominance from Jorge Martin, similar to his ways in Moto 3, you know, where he would get the pole position and kind of go and dominate. You know, that's what he's kind of doing in Moto 2 at the moment. You know, he's pretty quick in the qualifying, and then obviously the race pace is really strong at the moment, at least these last couple GPs. But I did think, in my opinion, obviously everyone's going to have a different opinion. Make sure you leave yours down in the comments. Make sure you leave down, you know, your opinions on the topic here in the comment section. Make sure to get back to you all. But in my personal opinion, I think this penalty was just absolute nonsense. I think it was just absolutely stupid. I think it was also the first time that Jorge Martin had gone off the track in all the Grand Prix, but due to it being the final lap, the last lap of the Grand Prix, they do just hand out penalties, even if you don't seem to have gained an advantage. Obviously, you might, I don't know. I mean, I doubt he would have gained anything there. Even the commentators on BT Sport and that, you know, they were saying that Jorge Martin wouldn't have gained any advantage and he should have kept the win, which is what I feel should have happened. I mean, he was barely even off the track anyway. But it was also on a corner where you just won't gain any advantage. There's nothing to be gained there. So in my opinion, it just really didn't make sense to give him the penalty. But, you know, it is what it is. Obviously, it is the rules. You do have to stay on the track at all times. But I just feel like in those kind of situations, on corners and track kind of sections which are like that, where, you know, the V thing after the, you know, the exit curbs, you know, you have that white V kind of painting on the floor. You know, when that just ends and you touch a tiny smidge of green, I think that is pretty absurd to get a penalty and drop back a position, or even have to do that bloody long lap around Austria. That is absolutely ridiculous, running off onto turn 1, going all the way around that little corner, blast it back on. You know, that you do lose a lot of time there compared to other tracks. You know, Bruno, for example, you know, that was a decent kind of long lap compared to the Austria one, where you do kind of just lose so much time going out there. But you know, I do feel like those kind of penalties are just ridiculous when they do touch a tiny amount of green after that white V, you know, on the exit curbs, that white V, that painting that connects back to the track. All riders use it, every single track, every single corner pretty much, and when they do touch the green, I do think that is just a tad unfair to, you know, give someone a penalty, because they're not really gaining anything there. It's not giving them any benefits or anything like that. So I do find that it's a little bit stupid. But, you know, it is what it is. Obviously, it's going to be probably a talking point throughout the paddock and riders, maybe, especially probably Jorge Martin, who will definitely, obviously, not be happy with the decision, obviously, losing a race win at home track, obviously, for KTM. Although, you know, it isn't a KTM, it's only got stickers on it. But it is still technically their home Grand Prix, and it would have been back-to-back wins for Jorge Martin. But unfortunately, you know, done the whole job the entire race, but with 2 corners left, he dipped into a couple millimeters of green and got his race win took away and demoted into P2. But yeah, guys, that's basically it for today's video. I just wanted to give my opinion on the whole penalty situation. Honestly, I think it is unfair. I think it's stupid. I think they need to look over the rules a little bit more and maybe switch it around a little bit. Obviously, if you do gain an advantage in that, we'll obviously give them a penalty. But in situations like this where, you know, they're not really gaining anything whatsoever, I do find it a little bit stupid. But I guess I can also see the point of why they do hand out these penalties, because, you know, track limits are there for a reason. You know, you do have to stay within the white lines at all times, and obviously if it is super strict like this, it will keep riders, you know, on the track, obviously, without, you know, trying to gain an advantage or something like that. But you know, sometimes it is a little bit harsh, I guess you could say. But yeah, guys, make sure to leave it down in the comments what your opinions are on the topic. Leave a like and subscribe for more content as always, and I'll see you with some brand new videos very soon.